us, and we welcome you inside Hard Rock Stadium to our post-game edition of TC Live on this championship Saturday with Andrea Petkovic and Prakash Amritraj. I'm Brett Haber. It went 3 sets. They have a lot of history against one another, 12 meetings. They'd split 6 up to this point. You were down courtside for the match. Andrea, what did you think of that performance?
It was so impressive. It was so impressive, especially because Aryna Sabalenka once more added a new element to her game. In that first set particularly, we saw her use the angle and try to get Coco off that one line that Coco...
Picture this. One of the most thrilling battles ever seen in women's tennis. A historic sunshine double achieved by Aryna Sabalenka. Every rally feels like art in motion. Every point, a hard-fought war. Yet the arena sits strangely silent. Only a fraction of the crowd you would expect. How can a championship final, featuring 2 of the sport's brightest stars, end up with record-low attendance? Could the absence of a rising star, Alexandra Eala, change the energy of an entire tournament, leaving headlines full of history but empty stands? What does this reveal about presence over pure talent?
Coco, you're so good in speeches, honestly. I don't know what else to say. But I want to start with you. You're a fighter. You also push me so hard to be a better player, and I like our rivalry. You're incredible. I'm happy to see you back in the finals and really hope to play many more. So congrats to you and your team. Do an incredible job. Of course, thank you to everyone.
Can't get enough of Alexa's brilliance on court? Subscribe now and never miss a single moment. From the very start, Aryna Sabalenka delivered something that forces even the most experienced tennis experts to pause and take notice. Not only winning, but rewriting history in Miami with a performance that combined raw power, measured patience, and a level of mental toughness that feels almost mythical in today's game.
Break points and just didn't come over that hump, and in the third set, I think the game I'll learn from is the first game of the match, being out 30-love, and just remembering to continue to be aggressive in that moment and trusting myself in that moment. But yeah, there's a lot to learn from, but I am happy with the mentality that I approached the match with.
She became only the 5th woman ever to complete the Sunshine Double, joining an elite circle of champions whose names read like a roll call of modern tennis greatness. Steffi Graf, Kim Clijsters, Victoria Azarenka, and Iga Swiatek. Winning back-to-back titles in Indian Wells and Miami is already a physical and mental marathon. But Sabalenka did it while shattering expectations, proving that the world's best player doesn't just dominate the scoreboard. She controls the rhythm, the will, and the timing of anyone bold enough to stand across the net.
Has just won the Miami Open, gone back-to-back in Miami, and also does the Sunshine Double, which is such a rare feat on the men and women's tour. We'll talk about that in a second, but let's go have a look at what actually happened throughout the match, because Coco was down early, but she did fight back up until the end. So you can see there, just over 2 hours played, 6-2, 4-6, 6-3 was the result for Sabalenka. And Sabalenka got off to the perfect start, getting a break in the first game of the match. She then got to 3-1, almost got a second break. There was a marathon game there, but Coco ended up holding. And then Sabalenka did get that second break at 4-2 and then served it out. So no break points against Sabalenka in that first.
No, the final against Coco Gauff was built as a clash of generations and styles, and it delivered every bit of drama the story promised. 12 meetings between these 2 competitors had already been split evenly before this showdown. And history seemed to whisper its warnings of mental traps and lingering memories, especially for Sabalenka, who had watched leads slip away in Grand Slam finals against the younger American.
I thought it was so brilliant the way she balanced her offense and her patience out there. Coco, she'll make you go crazy with how many balls she gets back into play, so it's impossible to play just ultra offensive tennis. You're going to start making errors. Coco started clawing her way back, but the way Sabalenka picked and chose her moments, especially in that third set, absolute masterpiece.
So, Sabalenka gets broken at the end of the second set as Coco evens the match. The crowd starts to go crazy. The momentum is shifting. And what does Sabalenka do? She breaks right out of the gate to start the third set to make sure that momentum doesn't slip away. That seemed like a mental...
But from the very first serve on that warm Miami Saturday, Sabalenka stepped in with a razor-focused plan, weaving in new dimensions to her game, using sharp angles to drag Gauff away from her comfort zones while holding firm to her own attacking rhythm. Coco, true to form, answered with relentless energy and fierce determination, chasing down what seemed unreachable and turning each rally into a test of will and endurance. By the second set, the momentum began to shift. As Gauff fought her way back, drawing gasps and rising cheers from a crowd that had finally come alive. Yet the numbers would soon tell a different story. Despite the tension and the stakes, Sabalenka struck with an early break in the third set, a moment that revealed not just her power, but her composure and timing shaped by experience. It became the turning point, the kind that defines champions, when a player recalls past defeats but refuses to be ruled by them. The three-set battle captured everything, from tactical brilliance to emotional strength. And when Sabalenka sealed the victory, she did more than win a match. She exorcised past doubts, secured her ranking, and reaffirmed her place at the very top of women's tennis. Yet even in the glow of that historic triumph, an unexpected twist lingered, revealing the shifting heartbeat of tennis fandom. Attendance at Hard Rock Stadium was far below expectations for a final featuring two of the sport's brightest stars. Analysts quickly pointed to the absence of Alexandra Eala, whose breakthrough performances had energized local fans and filled the stands throughout the tournament.
The final gave us another entertaining entry into the mildly competitive Sabalenka Gauff rivalry, and it feels like a win for both women, even though only one of them actually won the match. Aryna made history, becoming the 5th woman to complete the Sunshine Double, winning Indian Wells and Miami back-to-back when she defeated Gauff 6-2, 4-6, 6-3 in the 305. This match was yet another example of Sabalenka's growth as a player, particularly mentally. She didn't really let the home American crowd get to her too much, and the crowd was kind of wilding a little bit. And I also said previously that Aryna needed to win this match in straight.
Aryna made history by becoming the 5th woman ever to complete the Sunshine Double, capturing Indian Wells and Miami back-to-back after defeating Gauff 6-2, 4-6, 6-3 in the 305. This match stood as another powerful example of Sabalenka's evolution as a player, especially in the mental aspect of her game.
Against Alexandra Eala, and it's going to be another one of those where, you know, every match that Eala's probably played pretty much in this tournament, she's been a huge underdog in most or all of them. I mean, the volley nets one was her first round opponent and probably was a little under the radar at that point as a wildcard, but she sort of made her mark in the Ostapenko match where she would have been the underdog. It gets, you know, the tasks get bigger and meaner, and then she comes up against Madison Keys where she was a massive underdog.
Without her presence, the championship match, despite its incredible on-court story, struggled to draw the kind of crowd the spectacle truly deserved, highlighting just how much star power and local heroes can influence engagement even when the headline names deliver everything fans could hope for. The contrast was undeniable. A tournament built on skill, grit, and historic weight, yet still touched by the realities of attendance and visibility. Looking closer at Sabalenka's performance, it becomes clear her game has grown far beyond raw power. She showed a new level of versatility in shot selection, blending aggressive baseline dominance with patience and sharp court awareness. Each set unfolded like a chess match, where every point carried echoes of past battles and the pressure of present ambition. Her ability to read Gauff's movement, anticipate the next shot, and attack openings without overcommitting revealed a maturity in tactical awareness rarely seen at this stage of a career. And while Gauff remained the fierce, resilient competitor she's always been, her bursts of brilliance were met with steady, calculated responses, leading to a final set that became a masterclass in timing, mental strength, and precision. The story of the match extended beyond the court, carrying deeper layers of psychological intensity.
Well, it wasn't as good as the Indian Wells final. That obviously was one of the matches of the year, but great fight back from Coco. It was good to see that she, didn't just go away in the second like you saw there. She had, there was opportunities for Sabalenka to take that second set away and run away with it, but Coco held strong, stole the set, but then the final set, Sabalenka was just too strong, and the crowd started to quiet down once Sabalenka started to get the wins, and also wins the Sunshine Double. Huge achievement for her and the 5th lady to do that.
Sabalenka, fully aware of the weight of repeating the Sunshine Double and the shadow of past finals, had to battle not only her opponent, but the lingering echoes of earlier defeats. Gauff, meanwhile, was fighting through her own physical challenges, including a recent nerve issue in her arm that made her question whether she could even take the court in Miami. The fact that she reached the final at all, pushing the reigning champion to the edge, stands as a powerful testament to her resilience and growing consistency, adding even more tension and meaning to Sabalenka's victory. Every swing of the racket carried significance. Every break of serve became a turning point in the psychological chess match unfolding under the Miami sun. Off the court, the tournament reflected broader shifts in professional tennis, where emerging stars like Eala can reshape audience expectations and drive engagement in ways that go beyond rankings and titles. Her absence not only impacted attendance, but also exposed the intricate ecosystem of fandom in tennis, where local heroes, rising talent, and media narratives come together to shape the energy and perception of events. Sabalenka's triumph, as brilliant as it was, became part of a larger story about the connection between player visibility and audience engagement, a reminder that sport exists not in isolation, but within a web of talent, storytelling, and fan connection. From a technical perspective, Sabalenka's adjustments stood out as she varied spin, depth, and pace, forcing Gauff into uncomfortable positions and limiting the young American's ability to dictate play from her preferred lines.
Is busy posting photos with Kai Trump. There we have Coco Gauff talking about Sinkeres in comparison to heated rivalry and also being called mommy or a dominatrix. So I saw this on Aryna Sabalenka's Instagram story, and before y'all come at me and defend her, like, she reposted that shit, okay? But anyways, Kai Trump took a photo with her, and Kai Trump also said, "Had so much fun watching you, let's get it on Saturday." And this is your reminder.
Her serve, often questioned for its inconsistency, came through with precision when it mattered most, helping her claim crucial points and keep control of the rhythm. At the same time, her footwork and positioning on the court allowed her to shift effortlessly between defense and attack, neutralizing Gauff's attempts to build momentum with both sharp anticipation and clean execution. This blend of tactical intelligence and raw athletic ability is what sets Sabalenka apart from her peers, enabling her to achieve milestones like the Sunshine Double with a level of dominance few can match. Gauff, though defeated, leaves with experience and confidence, having competed at the highest level and pushed one of the game's best to her limits. Her Miami run, culminating in this final, is not just about the result, but about preparation for the season ahead, including the defense of Roland Garros, showing how a player's journey is shaped as much by setbacks as by success.
Overcome Madison spraying a lot of unforced errors in there, and then she had the walkover over Badosa before yesterday's monumental, mammoth, seismic, I think was one word I think maybe Damien used, and he's absolutely right, win over Swiatek. What were your thoughts on Eala's win there in particular?
Yeah, John, this is just, it's been insane in terms of the run, but I think it's kind of the story of the WTA this year in terms of these kind of historic runs we're seeing. Obviously Madison Keys, definitely not, a big name to, maybe even compete.
The story of the Miami final also highlights the incredible demands of professional tennis, especially within the context of the Sunshine Double. Winning back-to-back titles in Indian Wells and Miami means enduring long, grueling matches under relentless conditions, carefully managing recovery between events, and maintaining sharp mental focus throughout a demanding stretch.
Alex Eala play, like, oh my gosh, I want to watch. My mom's Filipino, so she's crazy about Alex.
Did you say that she wanted to make her a Filipino dish and then meet her mom or something too?
Yeah,
Alex's mom.
Yeah. My mom went to US Open last year, and she was just, Alex was obviously huge then, and she was like, oh my gosh, I want to see Alex. Maybe I'll get a picture with her, but I also want a picture with Jenny. I want a picture with everyone. And I was like, okay, Mom, let's take it one at a time. But then obviously when she knew Alex was playing at Indian Wells, she's like, I'm going to make her punch it.
Sabalenka navigated these challenges with remarkable composure, showing not just physical endurance, but an emotional steadiness essential for sustaining performance across such a demanding stretch. Her ability to stay focused, adapt her tactics, and respond to pressure in real time reflects the complete skill set needed to dominate at the highest level of the sport. Ultimately, the 2026 Miami Open final between Aryna Sabalenka and Coco Gauff stands as a story of contrasts and convergence. Historic achievement met with unexpectedly low attendance, tactical brilliance met with relentless youth, and mental resilience tested against physical recovery. It is a match remembered not only for the scoreline, but for the layers of strategy, psychology, and circumstance that came together at Hard Rock Stadium that Saturday evening. Sabalenka's victory, her second straight Miami title, adds another defining chapter to her legacy, shaping how players, analysts, and fans view dominance, preparation, and the ever-shifting landscape of women's tennis. As the sport continues to evolve, the balance between rising talent, audience engagement, and the relentless pursuit of excellence promises stories as compelling as this one, where history is written not just in wins, but in the intricate dance of competition, strategy, and human will. Sabalenka's Sunshine Double is now complete. Gauff's rise continues, and the absence of Eala serves as a reminder that tennis is never only about the winners on court, but about the energy, presence, and anticipation every player brings to the game.
Be proud of. It's been a long week, a lot of long matches, but yeah, I've only had one straight set match this week. But yeah, just to see them in the stands and the support and seeing how proud they are of me, despite, this is not the result any of us wanted today, but it's been a long time coming. I feel like playing this tournament so many times and never quite really doing any damage going into the draw. So it is nice to finally get like a deep result here. And
the Miami final has set the tone for the season, showing that tennis remains a sport where preparation, adaptability, and pure determination come together to create moments that are as unforgettable as they are instructive, leaving fans and analysts eager to see how these threads unfold in the months ahead. The technical mastery, mental resilience, and historical weight of this match offer not only a way to understand modern elite tennis, but also a story that speaks to anyone drawn to the drama, strategy, and human spirit within professional sport. Sabalenka's journey through Miami, culminating in this commanding yet hard-fought win, will be studied, celebrated, and remembered as a clear example of how peak performance is achieved and sustained amid shifting expectations, fierce competition, and a demanding audience. Sabalenka and Gauff delivered a final packed with tactical brilliance, heart-stopping rallies, and dramatic shifts in momentum. Yet the stands didn't match the intensity unfolding on court. Eala's breakthrough performances earlier in the tournament had already captivated fans, especially younger audiences and local spectators. Her absence showed how one player can shape not only the competition, but also engagement, attendance, and even the narrative tension surrounding the event. For Sabalenka, this contrast between historic achievement and a quieter crowd only adds another layer to her dominance. She performed under conditions that were physically demanding, mentally draining, and emotionally complex, delivering her best tennis without the immediate lift of a roaring audience. That ability to compartmentalize, stay focused, and execute under pressure is exactly what separates great champions from the rest. The Sunshine Double, after all, isn't about a single standout match, but about sustained excellence over weeks of grueling play, across changing conditions and against a field of world-class opponents, each bringing unique styles and challenges. Gauff, in contrast, left the match with validation rather than disappointment, showing that even in defeat, there is progress and growth. The strategic elements unfolding during the match were just as compelling. Sabalenka's use of angles, selective aggression, and varied shot-making consistently pulled Gauff out of her comfort zones. Her timing, knowing exactly when to attack and when to absorb pressure, revealed a level of tactical sophistication and control. When Gauff pushed back in the second set and sent the crowd into a frenzy, the momentum seemed to shift. Sabalenka's response, an immediate break at the start of the third, stood as both a tactical masterstroke and a powerful psychological statement of control. These moments reveal that modern professional tennis is not just physical, but a mental and strategic battle, where champions are defined by their ability to read situations, anticipate opponents, and handle pressure with precision. This final also reflects a larger theme in tennis, the balance between experience, youth, and audience perception. Sabalenka's maturity, shaped by past finals and lessons learned from setbacks, contrasted with Gauff's youthful energy and hunger, creating a match that extended beyond the court and into the broader psychological and cultural space surrounding the sport, from local heroes to global stars. As the trophy ceremony drew to a close, Sabalenka's triumph stood as both a historic achievement and a powerful narrative moment. Her victory carried layers of significance, built on tactical brilliance and unshakable resolve. Gauff's spirited challenge, combined with the unexpected absence of Eala, helped shape a story that reflects tennis at its core, a sport defined by complexity, depth of narrative, and the ever-unpredictable interplay of its many forces.